years since Centrino has been introduced on the market, and almost 40 years since Intel appeared as a company and questionable leader of chip makers. Could you tell us what have you prepared you for customers?
Well, interesting enough, I like that you say this. Intel's Centrino mobile technology has been launched exactly 5 years ago at CeBIT, which is very unusual. We launched the whole product, not only the name. What we're doing this year at CeBIT, we have been making two grand announcements. We announced the new Centrino 2 processor technology, and we announced the new processor, the Intel Atom processor. The Centrino 2 processor technology is actually just taking Centrino one step further, using the new process technology, making it faster, putting in capabilities such as WiMAX, for instance, if needed. WiMAX is not everywhere needed, but if you want to need it, like in the US, it's a bigger. I'm not sure how it is in Poland. If WiMAX is interesting in Poland, but you've got the option of doing this. So we're taking generation Centrino action to its real second new generation, driving it forward. Interestingly enough, the Intel Atom processor is a new processor. So Centrino 2, an evolvement of a mobile technology we've got for 5 years already, and the Intel Atom processor is a brand new processor. The Atom processor is manufactured on our newest 45 nanometer technology, but is also a very small processor with a very small or very low thermal envelope. We will have this processor available mid this year, summertime this year, and our expectations today are that we will have a thermal envelope of about around 3 watts, maybe a little bit below 3 watts, which is about a tenth, less than a tenth of what we got today in standard Penrod processors. Now, why do we come up with a new processor? The reason being is we think new devices will evolve over time. And we think there are the need for 3 different types of devices. Number 1, what we call mobile internet devices, short MIDs. You could say this used to be named like UMPCs. You've probably heard of this, more familiar than MID. Number 2 would be having Intel architecture in CE devices, consumer electronic devices. And number 3 would be the need for what we call our netbooks, low-cost IA, very cheap but still performance notebooks or PCs, basically addressed into 2 markets. Number 1 is the markets of the countries which don't have that much budget available, or like if you're looking at mature countries, like Poland really is rising right there quite significantly fast. It would be like your second or third computing device. Other countries it might be your first because you cannot afford it. You have seen similar devices already from other vendors which don't use the Intel Atom processor yet, like the Asus EPC. You've probably heard of it. It's a small little notebook, but it's got full internet experience because it's got full IA capability. And this word internet experience leads me somehow into the MIDs, the mobile internet devices. We've got emerging conversions of phone and notebooks, and some devices today are phone with internet capabilities. Some other devices are like small computers that are like a phone. But what we have seen is that using Intel architecture, you get the full experience. What do I mean by this? In cases of not having x86 architectures, you might have websites that are not displayed correctly. Because, for instance, they use the newest flash technology. Then you've got the experience of showing like an X. You don't see the picture. I take an example here from Germany. You've probably got familiar sites in Poland too. If I want to look at the weather, in Germany we've got a site www.weather.de. Probably be something similar in Poland with .pl. And then we get the temperatures, like 12 degrees, and above the temperatures you've got little icons saying if it's raining, if it's snowing, or if it's cloudy, and there's a big difference if it's snowing, raining, or sunshine. 12 degrees in sunshine is like what we got today, a beautiful day. 12 degrees range is not that nice. And these websites do not display the clouds because it's flash, and they just give me an X on some devices. On a fully compatible device, it will show you the cloud. It's just a simple example of what we do. So you get full, rich internet experience and content. And the third area I mentioned was CE devices, consumer electronics. It could be set-top boxes, it could be television sets, stereo equipment. Why do we think you need computing power anymore? Well, content is now available and distributed through the internet. Music, films, everything else. So if they're distributed through the internet, we strongly believe that IP content, the best device to play IP content is obviously PC. It's digital content. Now we've had several ideas of having the PC in the living room. That won't work. You don't really want this ugly gray device in the living room, having the ventilation that is loud and everything. Having this small little processor, and I can show you one. It'll take me a second because I've got it in my build. It's so small I'm afraid to lose it all the time. This is the Intel Atom processor, a very, very small processor. Now you can imagine having this in a set-top box. You can imagine this in a TV. Now you will not see the TV with like a user interface like a PC. It will be something different. But it then could stream the content from the service provider that delivers the videos, the films, stream it into the TV, calculate it, do everything you need, and then display it on your high-definition television. So we do believe this would be the third part for this device. That would be basically the product, what we're doing here at CeBIT. Something I think is very, well, not very important, but I think is very special, what we've tried here at CeBIT, is CeBIT has always had the problem of identifying itself, is this a consumer fair or is this a business fair? So CeBIT came along and said, well, basically during the weekdays, this is a business fair, we're having business customers, and over the weekend, like today, Saturday and Sunday, this is more like a consumer fair. So what Intel did is during Tuesday till Friday, we had this booth built with business solutions. We showed business solutions, our partners like Siemens Computers, IBM, other partners, Panasonic, I can't name them all, it'd take too long. They display their business solutions. Now, here as we are today, that's why it's so loud in the background, we've got this more like a gaming experience. We've got the Intel Racing Tour, we've got the Intel Extreme Masters, we have competitions going on, we're showing live games on large video screens, we're showing Skull Trail, the newest gaming PC platform, and those kind of things. So we rebuilt this booth from yesterday night, after we closed at 6 o'clock, to this morning, we rebuilt this booth completely to address both markets. Today, consumer, yesterday, business. So this gives our customers the right experience at the right time.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thank you, Quater, for doing this. I like to reiterate this, and I hope this will be interesting for your viewers.